It's gonna be a long one. So when I first kind of heard about Northwest, I was probably 3 months from graduating from high school, and my mom was like, "Hey, we should tour Northwest," and I was like, "Sure, why not?" Came up here. I talked to the advisor at the time, and he was like, "Hey, you should probably study geography. You like geography?" And I was like, "Okay, yeah." I also liked it because it was the furthest away from my parents, and I kind of wanted that independency because I was the only child. And it was one of the only programs in the Midwest that had a geography major and not just a certificate. So when I came up here, when I decided to come up here, have a tour, it felt very personal. Everybody was very friendly. Everybody was just kind, personable, and I liked that a lot. And that's something that really drove me to choose Northwest as a school to go to. Coming up here, I didn't know anyone. I lived 5 hours away, so no one from my high school came, even though I graduated 475 people. It was kind of lonely here for a few weeks, and you know what? My mom encouraged me to go to Meet the Greeks, a fraternity and sorority recruitment event, and I got to meet the people that I would eventually join, which would be Alpha Kappa Lambda. At first, I didn't really know anyone, which is how it always goes, but I grew in the fraternity, becoming homecoming chair eventually, and being able to meet people from different chapters. I eventually became secretary, growing up on the exec board. I eventually was house manager and then fundraising and Greek Week and alumni chair now. I've done a lot in the fraternity. That drove me to do other clubs too, such as the grappling club. I did wrestling in high school, so I really wanted to get involved in the grappling club, which is the wrestling club here on campus. And I've been both the treasurer and the president of that so far. I've also, through the fraternity, I've also been driven to be in more leadership positions outside the fraternity, stuff that is the governing body of the fraternity, such as IFC, the Interfraternity Council, where I served as VP of Communications and Programming. I raised the follower count on that Instagram to 250, to over 1,000 followers, which was my main goal of having the position in under a year, which I'm really proud of. But after I did the IFC portion of it, I felt like my whole experience here at Northwest was all Greek life related, and so I wanted to do something a little different, and that's when I decided to join SAC, apply for the concert director, being the co-concert director for the SAC concert this year. And that really helped me expand my horizon when it comes to my Northwest experience. I got to do stuff and go to things I never thought I'd be able to, or that I never thought was really fun with my fraternity. So that was able to give me experience and just overall more planning and experience planning events such as a concert or just overall event planning. During last year, I mentioned how as part of Greek Week, I was the org rep for my chapter. I decided to also apply for Greek Week exec, and I got chosen to be one of the exec board members, and I was able to help plan and run this year's Greek Week as well. So all that really came into a funnel this year within a 2-week span, both the concert and the Greek Week, and it put a lot of stress on me, but I was able to do it, and I think both events went really well. Academically, when I first came to Northwest, I didn't really know what geography or GIS in particular was, but throughout many classes learning about how computer systems play a very important role in mapping and how we interpret data on the web and just overall all over social media too, I got to learn how important that would be to my career, and just being able to experience that through all the different kinds of classes I was taking economic geography, taking computer geography, all that kind of confusing stuff at the time I thought. But through my time at Northwest, I was able to really handle time management really well, and through that I've been able to have a relatively 3.9 cumulative GPA. During my time at Northwest, only ever having 2 B's at Northwest with everything I do. I would say the biggest lesson I've learned throughout Northwest is just not really what I've learned in the classroom, but really what the organizations I've been a part of and what my teachers have taught me personally whenever I go into the office hours, and just learning how to be very good, disciplined student, time management, have good time management, and be that effective leader that I think Northwest kind of wants you to go into. My hope for after college is to really network really well, and I think I've always heard these stories of being a Bearcat. People meet them 20 years down. People will meet someone 20 years down the line, and then they will have some kind of connection towards Northwest, and they'll be friendly to you. And I'm excited to really see that after graduation, and really hope to maybe be that person 20 years down the line that a kid comes up to me and be like, "Hey, did you go to Northwest?" And I'll be like, "Yeah," and then be that friendly face to them too. I think that's probably about all.